What is up, clones? My name is Shaclone and I'm here with a different video this time. So I do get asked this question a lot by you clones, and the question is, why don't you build Critical Shaco, or what do you think about Critical Shaco, and why don't you build Infinity Edge, etc, etc. So if you watch my gameplays, you will see that I rarely buy any critical hits. Like, the only item that I buy on the only role, for Shaco is DPS Jungle Shaco, and I only built the static Shiv with critical hits. If I go for 80 assassin, full 80 assassin, I do go full 80, nothing else. If I go 80 bruiser or tanky 80 assassin, I do build 80 tankiness, HP, armor and all that. But critical hits, I don't like critical hits on Shaco. Why? Because let me go ahead and show you here. So if you do read Shaco's skill set, his Q as example, Shaco becomes invisible and teleports to target location. His next attack is guaranteed critically strike. So okay, that's not enough info. If you read that, if you read his Q skill in game, it's gonna say more like, that was a load car. So if you read that Q skill on the in game, I mean, you will see more info about how big the critical hit is. I think if you make it level 1, it's 150% critical hit. So that means no matter what, if you use your Q, no matter what, your next attack will be critical hit, and it will deal 140% damage from your AD. So that means the more AD you have, the stronger your Q critical will be. If you have critical hits, this is not gonna increase, and also the critical hits are only a chance, it's only, see, critical strike chance. You get, if you get the Infinity Edge, you get 25% critical strike chance. If that's the only critical chance you have, you will have this. So that means, like, if you look at it logically, it will be like your every fourth hit will be a critical strike. Every fourth normal hit would be a critical strike. Of course, that's not really it, but yeah, like, that's how it is supposed to be. But it depends on luck if you get another critical strike. Sometimes you do 8 hits and you don't have any critical strikes, or sometimes you have 2 critical strikes in a row. It depends, it depends on luck, kinda. That's kind of gambling. But of course, if you have more critical strike, I don't know, if you buy Trinity Force after the Infinity Edge, some other critical, Ghost Blade, Static Shiv and all that. Wait, where is Static Shiv in this? What? Where the fuck is Static Shiv? Like, it's not critical hit? Oh, yeah, it doesn't give 80, of course. Never mind. So yeah, the more critical strike chance you have, the bigger is the chance to make a critical strike. And basically, if you do a critical strike, a normal critical strike, you will do 200% damage, as you read. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So I was saying, if you read over here on the Infinity Edge, unique passive, critical strike deals 250 damage instead of 250% damage instead of 200%. So the normal critical strikes are 200% damage. That means, yeah, the twice the AD you have. But if you get the Infinity Edge, you will do 50% more of your AD. So yeah, that means, as you see, this is supposed for the normal critical strikes, but Shaco's Q isn't a normal critical strike. So Infinity Edge doesn't work for his Q, you get it? I'm sure a lot of you clones didn't know that. At least if I read the questions and all that. Those who play Critical Strike Shaco and like to build Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge doesn't work with Shaco's Q because, you know, it got its own critical strike damage, 140% at level 1, and then increases, I don't know, to 200 or something, I'm not sure. But normal critical strikes do 200%, and if you get Infinity Edge you will do 250%. So yeah, so that's basically why I don't like why I don't like critical Shaco build, you know, getting all these critical items. Ghostblade, I don't like that. The main reason why I don't build Ghostblade, by the way, is because I don't like this combination of this squishy, these squishy stats, you know. It's, of course, it's good for critical Shaco, definitely. It can be useful for maybe AD Assassin Shaco as well, but I don't know. I don't like the combination of critical hits and AD. I always build, you know, AD and tankiness, you know, AD armor, AD magic resistance, AD lifesteal. It doesn't give lifesteal. And it's a single target item. I don't like that, especially on AD Assassin Shaco. Like AD Assassin Shaco, the best item for him is, of course, Hydra, and then Hex Ranker. The Hex Ranker is really useful if you buy it early. But anyway, let's focus on the critical Shaco build. So yeah, I do only build, the only critical item I built, as I said, was Static Shift for DPS Shaco, and that's basically for the on hit. You know, the on hit damage of Static Shift is really high, and it does, you know, the Static Shift passive does work with Shaco's Q. That works, so that's pretty nice combo. But you know, the Infinity Edge doesn't work with this Q. And what else? Yeah, I do also build it for the DPS and the movement speed. That's really nice for DPS Shaco. But nowadays I do prefer AD, like tank AD Assassin Shaco. That's why what I prefer most recently. It's really strong if you know how to do it. What else? Yeah, that's it pretty much, you know. That's why I don't like critical Shaco. It's not really efficient if you think that way, especially in the higher elos. You know, you will, I don't like squish, I don't like building squishy. You will be one shot easily. If you get caught by one attack, you're dead simply. So yeah, critical Shaco is kind of bad in my opinion, and critical strikes on Shaco are bad as well. And the Infinity Edge, you know, that's the last item I would build on Shaco pretty much. I would build anything else, even Ghostblade, but not Infinity Edge. It's very inefficient for Shaco. It's only good if you have, like, let's say you have 50 critical strike chunks, then it makes sense to get this. If you are going for, you know, DPS Shaco, then it would make sense. But the way I build is, you know, more AD. You know, you get like, I don't know, 250 AD, and then I go in with the Q. I max my E and then Q, and as you know, his E, Shaco's E, does scale with AD as well. Okay, I'm not sure if Shaco's clone does critical strikes, I'm not sure about that, but it does definitely scale with the AD. So if you have more AD, your clone is going to do more damage with the normal hits. Your E is 1-to-1 scale with AD and AP. So that's pretty nice, and the Q does scale with AD as well. It doesn't scale with the normal critical, and it doesn't scale with the passive of Infinity Edge, but with Static Shift, that works. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I hope you got the message. I hope this wasn't too long for you. And yeah, I hope my reasoning was clear enough. Critical Shaco, as I said, is bad in my opinion. If you go for DPS Shaco, critical strike chances might be good, and if you have 50 critical, if you do a lot of critical strikes, normal critical strikes, then this gonna make sense. But you know, I do actually only focus on the Q. If I go in with the Q with a lot of AD and do that, you know, do a nice critical hit, if you do it from behind with a backstab, it's gonna be a really big burst, especially with full AD Assassin. Shaco. 1Q is gonna do like half of the maximum damage, at least for the AD carries. If you have less Whisperer, you're gonna do a really nice burst for the tanks as well. With 1Q, with 1 critical strike, only the Q, and that's just awesome. Really nice for the ganks. Yeah, you don't need other critical strikes with Shaco, you know, you gotta do it fast. You can't give the enemies so much chance. So yeah, 1 critical strike from the Q is enough. Okay, I'm repeating myself. I don't know, I can't keep myself short every time, but that's it pretty much. And another thing, you know, fast update for you, is, you know, I'm still planning to get better internet, and I might get it in 3 days. So 25th September, yeah, that's it. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna work, and if it's, you know, everything is actually done, the stream is all updated, it seems it's gonna work. And yeah, let's wait the 3 days, and then I'm gonna be streaming and let you know, with a extra video on YouTube. I'm gonna let you know when I start streaming, so I hope you will turn in. And yeah, that's it pretty much, clones. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Get that.